The African baobab is one of the largest living things in the world, an icon of the African landscape, instantly recognizable, mysterious and intriguing. It's a deciduous tree that only occurs at low altitudes in hot, dry bushveld. The baobab is widespread throughout Africa between the latitude 16 degrees north and 26 degrees south, but not in the equatorial belt across the middle of the continent, where saplings don't receive enough sunlight beneath the canopy. Young trees can't tolerate freezing temperatures where frost occurs. Somehow they do flourish in areas with very different rainfall averages, from under 200 millimeters to over 1,000 millimeters a year. They are rarely found above 1,500 meters. Baobabs were first noted by 18th century explorers for their extraordinary size and girth, and for their bizarre appearance with what appears to be a tangle of roots sprouting from a bulbous trunk. The earliest known mention of the African baobab tree and its fruit is in the 11th century Book of Roads and Kingdoms by Spanish Muslim geographer al-Bakri. The origin of the name baobab is thought to have come from Egypt. In the 16th century, Cairo merchants traded the baobab fruit in the markets along with herbs and spices. The name refers to its many seeds. The baobab often towers above the surrounding vegetation, an imposing presence that comes in many different shapes and sizes. This is Kubu Island in Botswana's Magudigadi region. It is a granite outcrop just 1 kilometer long and less than 20 meters high. It is surrounded by salt pans that extend to the horizon. 40,000 years ago, this was a vast inland sea. In spite of there being very little soil, hundreds of baobab trees grow on this tiny island. Somehow, the trees have forced their roots down between the rocks to draw enough nourishment to survive. The growth of some of the trees has been stunted. Others have unusual shapes, while a few have grown to be as big as any growing in good soils. It is a harsh place, with an eerie beauty where the wind often howls across the salt, whipping up the sand. Throughout Africa, the baobab is associated with myths and legends. This is the tree that many African peoples believe to be the home of ancestral spirits. In the creation myth, in which every animal receives its own tree from the Great Spirit, it was originally given to the hyena who threw the gift down in disgust. It landed the wrong way up, and so it became the upside-down tree, with its roots sticking up like branches. Rocks and stones are sometimes embedded in the trunks of these extraordinary trees as they rise out of the granite. The remains of an ancient stone wall curves along the rock on the southern side of Lekubu Island. Archaeologists believe that it may have been associated with the people of Great Zimbabwe and used as an initiation center where young men were brought for circumcision. Local people still use the island as a shrine, coming here to pray and leave offerings among the baobabs.